Right, I would love to be able to sit here and say it is a done deal and that Barron is on his way to Rangers. Now, I'm reading a lot of that on social media at this moment in time. A number of other pods, a number of other sources tweeting out that it's a done deal. Nothing official from the club. So as far as I'm concerned, nothing at this moment is official as regards Connor Barron. We're going to talk a little bit about where we're up to with that and what we do understand is the present situation with the former Aberdeen youngster. Obviously, Aberdeen have no link over him now because of the fact he is out of contract. So let's deal with this. Let's deal with the facts of the matter. So we're going to talk about that. We'll talk about Ianis Hagi with Chris Jack reporting a little bit about Yanis's future. Ianis, who played obviously for Romania yesterday, came on as a sub and did surprisingly little. Did not great. But let's talk first of all about this man, Connor Barron, up-and-coming young Scottish midfielder. Very much fits the type of player that Clement is clearly looking for this summer. Young, can play a number of different positions, athletic, gets forward, not afraid of a tackle. In the semi-final in the Scottish Cup, Aberdeen versus Celtic, outplayed Hatate, outplayed O'Reilly, outplayed McGregor. Has a good range of passing. He's a player that's not afraid to get stuck in. Can play centre midfield, can play defensive midfield. Would certainly fit into that midfield pivot too. Would add to the quota of Scottish talent at the club. He's got good first team experience in Scotland as well, so understands the league, understands obviously I think a lot about where the whole Rangers situation is in terms of how clubs are towards Rangers. He's seen it obviously from the Aberdeen point of view, the fact that Aberdeen obviously turned into prime Barcelona against Rangers, but then obviously looked like, prime dog and duck against Celtic. Look, overall, Connor Barron is a very, very promising talent. Now, where are we up to with this whole Barron thing? Now, there's a number of people reporting and sources reporting, I don't think 100% reliable sources at this moment in time, stating that it's a done deal and that Barron is on his way to Rangers. Like I said, nothing official from the club. What do we understand? What do we know from this moment in time? Now, we know that there are a number of suitors for Connor Barron. Swansea in England, even though it's Wales, but Swansea apparently have been priced out of the market. Apparently to do with wages. They can't obviously match wages that Rangers and other clubs are willing to pay, so they apparently are out, according to a number of reliable sources. There are Italian teams also interested in signing Connor Barron, Bologna, Sassuolo, other Italian teams as well. But according to a number of reports, Barron favours a move to Rangers. He wants to remain in Scotland. He wants to play for Rangers. He sees it as a great opportunity, obviously, to play European football, to play at Ibrox, to compete for trophies. Something that I think a lot of players will take as something they want to do. They want to compete for trophies. They want to play European football. Now, obviously, Barron had a taste of European football last season with Aberdeen playing in the Conference League. He played 42 times for Aberdeen last season, including 6 Conference League fixtures. Has built up a wealth of experience for such a young lad. Now, if he was to move out of Scotland to Italy or south of the border, then Aberdeen would be due a compensation fee, what's called a training fee, in excess of £500,000. Obviously, if he moves within Scotland, then it is an agreement between the two clubs. If the two clubs cannot agree on a set training fee for that player, then it goes to tribunal, and the tribunal will rule what the buying club or the club offering him a contract are going to have to pay to secure his services. Now, we look at it this way, guys. He wants, I think, to come to the club. And if that is the case, then that really is the case that he wants to come to Rangers. That is a good thing. Now, Rangers apparently have tabled an improved offer in terms of training fee and salary, very close, apparently, to what Barron is demanding or what his agent is demanding for the young lad. So that is a positive. Obviously, the club are moving in the right direction towards Connor Barron. We can talk about all the worry about when he's signing frees, when he's signing out of contracts, when he's signing young players. But I think we have to kind of, as much as we may distrust this board, distrust John Bennett and the Park family, etc., we kind of have to park that, give the pun, until after the transfer window closes, after the season gets underway, and look at what we've actually managed to acquire. Now, Connor Barron, for me, would be an excellent signing. He'd bring a youthful vigour to the team. He'd bring a good range of passing, a player who's not afraid to get stuck in. He can play in that pivot too. I think he could play further forward as well. I think Clement and his staff would get the best out of him. I think he's a top talent, and someone I think that, that if we can get this over the line. And like I said, there's a lot of reports suggesting it's done. I don't see that yet because, keep checking X. There's nothing official from the club. And until the club officially say that Connor Barron is a Rangers player, we can't obviously, for definite say that that is the case. And like I said, there is nothing from the club yet. Look, it is at a stage where Rangers clearly have an interest in the player. Rangers clearly are trying their best to get the player, but it's very much, can they meet his demands? Can they pay that training compensation fee? And can they get this move over the line? I certainly hope they can. That's where we appear to be at this present moment in time as regards Connor Barron. Okay, so it was revealed today that Ianis Hagi is very likely to leave Rangers. According to Chris Jack of Rangers Review, and these guys, like I said, are insiders. They do get into the club. They do talk to people in the club. They do have sources in the club. Hagi, who is currently away with Romania, has told his agent to go out and find a club who actually want him and a manager he wants to play for. Look, I think, Yanis has had a successful past for the club, very good during 55, for example. I think the injury that he got really did set him back massively. He went out to Spain, had that loan spell with Alaves, spoke very highly of, wanting to be in Spain, of enjoying the Spanish lifestyle. His father spoke about him playing for Rangers again. I think his dad talks too much. But he has, in all essence, told his agents to find him a new club. Look, I don't pretend for a minute that Ianis Hagi is a bad footballer. I don't think he is. I mean, he wasn't great yesterday when he came on for Romania, but I think, he isn't perhaps after that injury as suited to the Scottish game as what we need from a player. He's a bit slow. I know his passing is good. I just think, there's better players at the club already. Cantwell, for instance, is better in that position. I think Diamande is better than him. He can play further forward. There's clearly aspirations to bring in more forward players. And I think at times, as regards Ianis Hagi, that we're kind of guilty a little bit of a kind of reinventing and rewriting of history in terms of the player. I think he's a good player, don't get me wrong, but I don't think he is as unbelievably brilliant as a lot of fans are kind of making him out to be. I think as well, if he can have a decent Euro 2024, then, this is going to be useful money, a decent salary, a decent transfer fee, freeing up wages, all stuff that's going to be useful going into the rebuild. I think a lot of the money for the rebuild will come from player sales. I don't think the board have a fantastic amount of money themselves to stump up and pay for transfers. I think the money will come from either selling players and from us giving them money for merchandise, season tickets, etc., etc. So look, I think, as Chris Jack is reporting, Yanis is done. He's going to be off. And obviously wish him all the best. No ill feeling towards the boy at all. It is the right move for him, I think, and the right move for the club. Well, guys, obviously we'll look at it in a bit more depth in tomorrow morning's video. Thank you for watching Glasgow Rangers Nation. Please, obviously, smash that sub. And on the way out, two things I always ask of you. Number one, smash that like. Number two, remember always, we are the people.